Welcome to OM James. I am OM James, and today is a talking, I hope, Tuesday. We'll see. I'm going to try to get this episode out tonight, and if I don't, then it's going to be a talking Wednesday, and I hope you guys don't mind. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, too, so it's not just going to be a regular old episode, not even longer, just a bit of a different episode. Longer for me. It took me a bit more effort to make this episode, that's why it's coming out a little bit later. Hope you guys don't mind, but I'm excited about it. It's going to be a really good video, I think. We're reviewing something I've been excited about for about 6 months now or so. And that's the BittBoy. All the reviews that I've heard about the BittBoy. BittBoy, the new BittBoy they call it. The old BittBoy was the one that had the 300 one. It's not like that. This is the new BittBoy where you can actually play Nintendo, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color games on it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start this way. I'm going to start with the unboxing. We're going to unbox it right now, real quick, on the channel right now. So stay tuned, and then I'm going to jump over and do the little bit of a review afterward. Pros and cons kind of a thing, Q&A. Good stuff. If you're interested in it after the unboxing, it's pretty cool. If not then at least when I talk a bit about it, I hope you kind of get to feel it and dig it and want it too. But we'll see. Not sponsored, by the way. There's nothing sponsoring going on. This is just OM James coming at you, talking about the BittBoy. So here we go. Start with the unboxing, follow the review. I'm getting this in the mail. To be honest with you guys, I ordered this about a month ago, and it took that long to get here, and it finally got here. And this is something that's kind of hot. Kind of running hot right now in the retro gaming industry system, whatever, like even on YouTube and all that, that people are getting really excited about this thing. I won't even tell you guys what it is yet. I'm gonna go ahead and open the box. But actually, before I do that, before I open the box, I'm gonna need somebody's help. You ready? You guys have seen her before. Come on over here, Piper. There she is. Piper's gonna help me open this box. We're gonna get BittBoy going. What game are you looking forward to most on
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls for Game Boy Color. That's the game she's really stoked on.
I love Powerpuff Girls.
Look how tiny it is. Do you see that?
Yes.
My gosh, look at that. You can see here. There's BittBoy upside down.
Wow.
Try it again. BittBoy, kind of see it a little bit. There it is, BittBoy. You can see it here, BittBoy. All right, so wow. So this thing is a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
It looks kind of like the Nintendo 2DS.
You think so? I'll put it right there. How's the microphone right there so we can both hear? Yeah. There.
But I don't know where the Nintendo 2DS went.
Oh, I know. We had to find it. It's in a box or something somewhere. We
At
had
least
it for a while.
I use my tablet a lot.
You ready to open this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Check that out. You see that? I think that's it. That's so tiny. Here, hold it for a second. How does it feel?
It even has a little thingy on there.
How does it feel? Alright, so I'm not going to open it up just yet. You can see that's it right there. It's got a nice little cover on it. I don't know really the point of that. Probably never going to use this again once I break that adhesive. Yeah, see?
Kind of like tape.
It's like a post-it note. I don't know. I can't decide if I'd ever use that again. It's kind of got a cool little printout though. I can open it just fine. I'm saying that I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it, the little casing thing. I'm gonna take it out. Screw it.
Yeah,
we're gonna take it out. We gotta see it. I gotta hold this thing in my hands. Gotta hold it in my hands.
That kind of looks like the video game thing in Adventure Time.
Okay, I've completely ruined the bag now. There we go. Wow, there it is. It's got a screen cover. I can tell.
That looks just like your thing on your shirt.
My thing on my shirt?
Yeah, like remember
like Sonic?
Remember that shirt? Remember that shirt you have with the Nintendo controller on it?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I think this is the on button on the back.
There it is.
Look,
I knew there was a thingy on it. Hold on. You can't even tell that I'm doing it, but I finally... There we go.
What?
Oh, man. That thing is cool. It's really tiny.
The on button is in the back.
No, that's the battery.
Oh,
see?
Battery.
It actually has a removable battery. One of the high points about... Oh, my gosh. This thing's... There you go. One of the high points about it actually uses the standard Game Boy Advance battery.
Where will we get those batteries?
We can get more batteries.
But where will we get those
Look
from?
at that thing. That feels good. It feels good. I'll be honest with you guys. It feels a little bit like plasticky thin. It's incredibly light, but it feels good. All right. Don't turn it on yet. I'm going to see what else. I think this is probably going to be the cables and everything right here.
Yeah, to charge it or whatever.
Indeed, it is cables galore. All put into one bag. Okay, so we got AV cables. This is going to plug it by composite. It's going to plug it into your TV.
Yay, that's
kind of
cool.
skipping. Our video's skipping. Hopefully it's recording okay. It's got a little bit of skippiness to it. Anyway, those composite cables. What else we got? Oh, we got right here.
Plug it into the TV.
And then we also got our charger cable. It's like a micro USB standard.
That looks a lot like the Nintendo 2DS's charger.
It's kind of similar.
But
the 2DS is much bigger. It's USB Type
But that's
B, I want to say, maybe C, B. It's Type
that's
B.
like a tinier version of it.
It's a micro. Actually, I think technically it is USB Type B, just like the one you're thinking. Very similar. Anyway, there's a whole thing behind that. I think it might be similar. Okay, so there's the SD card slot. Now, I did order this. Hold on.
Can I have that foamy thingy one?
Yeah. I ordered it with the 8GB SD card.
What?
Do you see an 8GB SD card here?
Maybe it's in there.
No.
That's the instructions.
Okay, that really stinks. I ordered it. There's no SD card. You can see that right there. There's nothing. There's supposed to be an SD card in there. So, I think I have an SD card around here somewhere. I'll look. Hopefully I got one somewhere where we can put still games on here, but I want to go ahead and turn it on. See if there's a battery life in it. Oh, green light came on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow.
Jump.
It's starting up. There's no games on it yet, of course. I gotta get an SD card from somewhere. I think I have one again here somewhere. Takes a second to start up.
We do have one in the Nintendo 2DS, but we don't know where that is.
That's true. Actually, that's a full-size SD card, I believe. Not a micro SD card. Come on. Push a button or something?
Push buttons. Maybe it just takes a long time to load.
Apparently it does. I didn't see that in any of the reviews I watched.
Anyway, you should see how this.
So there's the cable port right there. That's headphones can be done in that way. Yeah, right in that port right there. But also you can plug in the composite like video cables, plug it into your TV. I'm gonna end up testing that video quality out too. Come on now, you can do something.
I want to show them what this.
Does it need an SD card? I thought maybe it didn't yet. So I guess I'm about to come back to you guys on that one.
There's gonna be a part 2 of this.
Or I'm just gonna clip together as one episode probably, but
Maybe.
it's kind of weird. I expect there to be something, but okay. Well, I guess we're coming back to that. But there's the box right there, you guys. It's really straightforward, really empty like.
But guys,
It's had a cool little cover on it. Don't forget that. Very nice. It has the instruction manual.
you might wonder where will we
you call
buy
that?
one of those SD cards?
Amazon.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, Amazon Prime.
That's what I think. And that's about it, I guess, right there. I'm gonna come back. Oh, you just bumped the camera. Please watch out.
Oops, I stuck
Get
that.
your arm. There you go. Stay up
I
there.
stuck that.
Don't worry
onto
about
the-
that. Don't worry about that. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I'm still covering it. Oh, that's fine. You can see everything just fine. Anyway, okay, you're okay. Don't worry about it. So, I can't show you much more of this right now. I'll come back to it. I'm going to get an SD card around here somewhere, I hope. And if I can, then I'm going to show you guys what the game looks like on it. But otherwise,
I hope there's some on Amazon.
we can get one, either one way or another. So, I will be right back, you guys. I will complete this in just a moment after I get all that set up. So, be right back.
Dab on them haters.
Wait, you cover that screen, you go like, something like that. Okay, that'll work. And we're back. There you go. So that was the unboxing thing, and it's me again. You know, it's me. Okay, so now we're gonna do what we talked about at the beginning. We're gonna do a pros and cons, and I'm gonna talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff. So I did that unboxing about 3 days ago, and I've since played the BittBoy quite a bit. So I've had a lot of experience with it. Got a chance to really dig into it and play with it and see what I think about it. It's right here. Oh, I just bumped the mic. Oh yeah, there's the BittBoy right there. They can just, it got see-through for a second. Still getting see-through. Okay, not see-through. So anyway, BittBoy. I'm very excited about it. We're going to talk about it real quick. I'm going to start with the cons. I'm doing that specifically because I want to point out, let's pull that back a little bit. So I want to do the cons, and that's because I want to end with a high note, of course, but also I want to get out of the way my qualms, the issues I have with it. You know, like, there aren't a lot. There's not a lot of problems with it, really, honestly, and it isn't, I'll admit, exactly what I was hoping for, but at the same time, it is plenty fine, and I really dig it. We'll put that as a summary, but let's start with the cons. So, con number 1. There are no native saves. There are no native saves in the BittBoy. So, like, if you're playing a game and it has a save option, like one of my favorite games of all time, as you guys know, is Dragon Warrior 4. It's the classic NES. I play that game any single chance that I have to play an NES game. I'm playing Dragon Warrior 4. I have a save state going about an hour and like 17 minutes right now into Dragon Warrior 4 on this thing. I'm loving it. And that's my second time through. We'll get to that. But anyway, that's actually what we're talking about right now. There's no native saves, though. So you can't just, like, go to the temple or whatever, or go to the save point and save it and then come back later and load it again. You have to use the save states within the system. And from what I hear, and I haven't come across it yet, is that some games out there apparently even require a save state. Like, not a save state, but a save game option. I have kids behind me. You know how it goes. the Jackson family thing. But some games, apparently, they require you to have, I'm going to adjust my microphone, a save option. Like, I don't know, I haven't played it again, but I haven't played a single game like that ever. But apparently some of them do require that. If that is the case, then you can't play them, you can't get through them and beat them with the BittBoy. That's kind of a bummer. Now, I use my save states, ultimately, I use them like as my, not save states, sorry, the native states. The native states, or states? God dang it. The native saves are like my ultimate backup. Like, that's what I always go back to. I'll do save states as I go. Something's kind of dangerous or crazy, I'm getting anxious, and I'll do a save state real quick. And then I'll go back, if I ever lose that evening, like say my save states crap out, they're all locked up, I can still start the game and load the game and get right back where not right back, but like within maybe, a couple of minutes, 30 minutes or something like that of the last time I did a save state. It's still, I don't lose months worth of work. And that's really what it comes down to, is you could lose it all if you only have save states to go on. And sometimes, honestly, I don't even want to use save states. I want to just use the save game in the option, or the save option in the game. And that's because, I don't want to, when you do save states, and this is a good conversation, a much bigger conversation. I should do a whole, Talking Tuesday about save states, because there's a whole big conversation in there. But ultimately, sometimes, and a lot of the time, people want to play without using save states. They want to play the game the way it was meant to be played. Like, they're not playing it on an emulator. They're not playing on an emulator. They're playing on an actual, like, console system, like a portable console system, or, whatever. Anyway, they're playing the game on the way it was meant to be played. And if you have save states, then, of course, then you have the option to bypass all of that. And anytime you have a save state system, it's not going to be game-specific, because it is outside of the game. You're saving your state outside of the way the game was meant to be played. So sometimes you only want to have them. I'm going to take forever to get through this list if I don't just bust through some of these real quick. So I got a bunch of points I want to touch on, okay? Another really quick side note is that the game, as far as it's concerned, if you do on the BittBoy, is that you've played the game through in one sitting, like from start to finish. And that's probably not a big deal. But there might be some games that maybe even get like a bonus. If you sit down, you've played this game for 19 hours straight, and you beat it. And like you might get a bonus for it. And you would get that with the BittBoy because all you have are save states. There's no actual native states to say I left and came back to the game. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Number 2, cons. Save states will sometimes not load correctly. And this only happened to me 2 or 3 times so far. First time it happened, I was very upset about it. First night I got it, right after the unboxing, I said, heck, it's open. I'm going to put games on it. Let's play it right now. And that I played maybe an hour and a half on the game. It was Dragon Warrior 4, of course. And I got Ragnar, the first character you play in that game, up to about level 6 or 7. And then the next morning, I got up and I turned it on to play first thing in the morning, and my save state was locked up. As soon as I loaded it, bring, speaker on, like that one solid note where you know the NES game is totally locked up. And so I loaded my, that's the only save state I had. And then I was frustrated. I turned off the whole thing, and I walked away from it. I put it down for like 4 or 5 hours. Like, I was so frustrated. Like, I cannot use this BittBoy if I can't ever save my game. I have to be able to play games that take longer than, half an hour to play. This thing's gonna be useless to me. And so it was really frustrating for me. I mean, as a silver lining on it, though, is that it happened again. The second time it happened to me, I started up Dragon Warrior 4, and I was like, I only put maybe 20 minutes into it. I was like, I'm not going to invest too much into it. And when I loaded it up, it was still locked up, and the graphics were kind of freaking out. I was like, oh my god. And so I loaded the second save state, because at that point I decided every time now I do a save state, I'm going to do 2 of them. I'm getting cold with my coat back on. But every time I do a save state, I'm going to do 2 of them. Save state, you get 3 slots with the BittBoy. Let's get blurry while I put my coat on. But you get 3 slots with the BittBoy. Save slots, and I use the first 2 as basically one. Like, I save my game, and then I wait a second, then I save it again. And that's for a good reason. It's because I make sure that I have a backup. So I loaded the backup, and that one was also locked up. So I was getting just about as frustrated as the first time. And then I went back to the main menu, and I reloaded Dragon Warrior 4, and I reloaded my save state, the first one, just as a check. And it worked. And my save state was fine. Everything was good. I continued playing, and I said, thank God, as soon as I started playing. So if you find yourself with a BittBoy and you get stuck on a save state, just go back and try again. It should work okay. All right, and it is kind of a bummer. Another moving on our cons list here. Number three is that it's kind of a bummer that it doesn't play GBA games. That would be really cool. I'd love to play GBA on this thing. If I could play Game Boy Advance games, then I could skip most of my mobile game playing. I'd uninstall most of the games that are on my phone right now, those free-to-play games. And instead, I'd just end up playing my BittBoy. But instead, it doesn't quite support GBA. That is kind of a bummer. Maybe it's not powerful enough. I'm not sure what it is. Some people even, there's one YouTuber, I forget his name now, I apologize, but he mentioned the fact that if you wanted to do it, but you don't have shoulder buttons. See, there's no shoulder buttons on the BittBoy, nothing like that, see? But you do have these turbo buttons right here. And these turbo buttons that go beside, right here. There's the turbo buttons right on the top row and the bottom row. Anyway, that the A and B have turbo buttons. You could use those as the left and right bumpers instead, the shoulder buttons. So that would be kind of cool too. I could dig that. Moving along, so I got a list I'm trying to get through. A big issue for me is there's very limited very limited options on the BittBoy. You can't change the way that the game is rendered beyond making it be like pixel to pixel or true pixel or whatever you call it, and then doing full screen. It'll stretch it to the full screen of the BittBoy, and that's not a problem. Actually, I found myself playing it most of the time on the full stretch mode instead of trying to. I did a little bit of the like true to pixel or whatever. Like I tried to play it just like that, and it was cool. I actually felt very nostalgic when I first started doing it that way, but as time went on, I didn't want the black bars, and I ended up filling my screen. And it's kind of a bummer. You can't really do much except for just put it between those two. You can't change the options at all. There's also no directed data transfer. I tried to plug my GP. I almost called it something else. I tried to plug in my BittBoy, gosh, into the computer directly with the cable they gave with me, like it was in the box with it. You saw me pull it out of the thing in the unboxing, and I couldn't get any data. It didn't pop up. Didn't let me know that I could copy data to it. It went to my computer, and it did not let me even see the drive as like a mobile device or whatever. So as far as I can tell, you can't do direct data transfer to the BittBoy. I'll get back to you on that though. I might find something out on that. I'll do an update. The build quality, for the most part, I like it. You know, it's got a pretty good build quality. It's not completely light. It doesn't feel like I'm holding a G.I. Joe in my hand. But at the same time, the plastic, in my opinion, does still feel a little cheap. Like I've held a lot of different mobile devices in my life, and it doesn't feel the worst I've ever felt. By far, no, but it does feel a little bit cheap here, like some plastic that was cheap for them too. Also, I want to point out the power button is not a great power button. It's right here. See if I can get a good focus. Maybe not. But anyway, the power button's right there, and it's a little bit wobbly. You can see it right there. It's a little bit. See how I'm not even pressing power on, power off, and you can see it moving up and down. I'm not turning it on. See, it's not turning on. It's just wobbling. And that kind of bugged me a little bit. Like, I think maybe that power button could give out a little eventually, and I can't turn on my BittBoy anymore. Hopefully not, but that's what it kind of looked like to me. So let's move on real quick. Limited controls. A big issue for me is there's no reset option, like reset the game option. And when I first had my save state get locked up, in my head I was like, oh, the RAM's been saved. Everything I've done is still saved, you know? Actually, I realized, I never actually went to the temple in the game. But at the time, I didn't think about that. And I was like, I can just reset the game and then start over again, keep it going. And it didn't work. I couldn't reset the game because there's no reset option. That was kind of a big bummer for me. Also, honestly, I could use, and maybe it's just me being a Game Boy enthusiast, but I miss a volume knob. You know, and like a contrast knob, and I wish that maybe I'm a knob snob, I don't know, but I wish there was some way to adjust on the outside, and there's not. You can do it with the software, which is nice, but that would be nice. Okay, finally, the battery life. In my experience so far, the battery life hasn't been amazing. Like, I still charge it every night because I play it 2 hours here and there, off and on, you know. And I mean, not usually an hour at a time even. It'd be like 20 minutes at a time. But I play it enough that it gets where the battery gets kind of low. You know, it's not bad, but it's like charging my cell phone, basically. So keep that in mind. All right, let's jump into the pros real quick. We're going to fly through this as quickly as we can. We're already at like almost 10 minutes just for the post thing here. So real quick, lag-free gameplay. Let's start with that. Number one, there's lag-free gameplay. I love the fact that I can play this game. I've played a lot of emulated systems throughout the years, and when I play a new system, especially like a brand new one that just came out, and there's even like a millisecond, like 100 millisecond lag, like so tiny that you can't even perceive it with your eye, and you can feel it while you're controlling it, throws it off. I always use Super Mario Bros. 3 as kind of my gauge to that. If I can play Super Mario Bros. 3 on this system, then it doesn't have lag. I can play it well enough. Otherwise, it's solely limited to RPGs. I'll play RPGs because they don't require a lot of action skills usually, depending on the RPG, for NES and Game Boy Color. But for the most part, you can play those without having to worry too much about having quick reflexes, so you can still play it with lag. But this system, BittBoy, so far as I've seen it, and I've seen other people brag about it too, their wives, as they played my BittBoy and were like, dude, this is awesome, that this is, there's no lag. It's a brilliant aspect of it. I really love it about it. Let's keep on going. Bright, colorful screen. Number 2. I keep skipping right to number 2. Bright, colorful screen. Now, one of the great things about it is the screen, and everybody's talked about all the reviews I've read so far. I can turn it on for you guys real quick. Everybody's talking about how beautiful the screen, and it's true. It really is an amazing, beautiful screen. You can tell that they gypped on a couple of things, but not the screen. Let's bring up good intro. Let's do that one. There we go. We could do that. Okay, so the screen, if I can hold it up and see if I get the focus for just a second. There you go. a little bit. I want to give you guys just a little taste. Anyway, you guys can see at least that it's incredibly bright. I'm screwing up my green screen and everything, but it's incredibly bright. Like, it's a great, beautiful screen. I even have it through the stretch thing, like I said, and it's still just really, really great. You can look at it for a while. I looked at it for about an hour straight at one point, and it works really, really well. I tested it outside. I was hoping to get some footage of it outside. Maybe if I do an update on this, I'll do an outside kind of thing. But even outside, it worked really well. Actually, I took it from my work. Taco Bell is right across the street from my work. And while I went to Taco Bell, playing the BittBoy in my hands as I was going, watching where I was going, of course. I like a cell phone. I wasn't texting. I was just pressing A and B and A and B on Dragon Warrior 4 so I could like walk while I was doing it. And so I was playing it, and I got to the Taco Bell thing, and I, of course, put it down, and I ordered my thing, and I was waiting, and I said, okay, thanks for you. And so I had to wait on the side, and I was still playing my game. I ended up like getting a whole level, like grinding a whole level while doing that, and it was great. But even outside, indoors, of course, looked a lot better. But outdoors, especially the brighter colors of the games, were fully visible, and it worked really, really well. I was very happy with it. So the form factor of it is really nice. It's tiny, as you guys can see. It's putting it up on the screen one more time. Very small, very compact. I like that aspect of it a lot. You can see it goes right in my coat pocket like it doesn't exist. Look at that, like it doesn't even exist. You can't do that to a cell phone, and if you could, it wouldn't be a very good cell phone. It'd be tiny. So that's just, it's really brilliant that you can put that thing in your pocket and it disappears. You can put it in a purse. You can put it in just anywhere. You can put a tiny little pocket. Backpacks, like it's just that, like a calculator pocket. You can tuck it right in there. Again, I've had a few different systems like GPD-XD, and I had a GP2X back in the day, like on PSP, like Nintendo DS, DS Lite, all those, a lot of different portable devices. And ultimately, this one is by far the most convenient when it comes to size. I like the fact that it plays ROMs, not built-in games. The original, we're just going to skip the numbers now. So, the original BittBoy that came out, not the new BittBoy like we have right here, it used to play 301 games on the system. It was all built in. So it would just be all the games that were built into it, and they were all kind of knockoff NES games and stuff like that, and you could play those, and that was it. That's what you're limited to. In the new one, you can actually play in ROMs that you get from places and play them anytime you want to. And you can even play like homebrew ROMs. You can bring your entire NES lineup with you, as well as Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and be able to play it whenever you need to. And I like that a lot. Like, I get that itch sometimes to play, and with the BittBoy, I can scratch that itch whenever I need to. You can play homebrew tiles, like I said. It can also, a really great thing about that, it's not limited. It's not like 999,000 games or anything like that, but it can play the entire NES library for the most part. I'm sure there's a couple of them that aren't completely software compatible, but I mean, it plays a tremendous amount of games from a very great library of systems. So it's just awesome. I'm very excited about that. I think it's awesome. Build quality is decent. I said the build quality wasn't great. The parts that are good, though, listen to this. You hear that clickety-clackety-clack? I sure hope you do. I think you do. It's got a good give to it. Like, you feel like you're pressing the buttons. When I'm, like, pressing that B button or A button, like when I'm Super Mario Bros. 3, and I'm pressing the A button as fast as I can to fly as fast as I can when I'm not cheating and using that turbo button, which I do sometimes, I'll admit, is that you feel that clickety-clack. It's just like typing on a keyboard. I like feeling those buttons, that physical sensation of causing the machine to do what you want it to do. I love that, and this system has a good aspect to that. The screen and the buttons all feel really, really well fastened to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to come loose, except for that power button. It's kind of wobbly. I'm still wobbling it. But the rest of that, though, every single other aspect of it, I was actually, as I was putting this together, this outline right here, I was like, all the buttons are perfect. Nothing's wrong with it at all. And I got to the power button, and I was like, oh, what's up with that power button? That's why that was my only, I almost dropped it. That's why that was my only qualm about it, was because of that power button's a little bit loose. The TV output, you know what? I was going to do a video and show the TV output. I think it's going to be a follow-up video. We're going to see what the BittBoy looks like on the TV. I have a feeling it's going to be all right. It's going to be composite, which I don't mind composite. We have a VCR in our living room on our big screen TV. We play 240p at 1080p, and it works all right. It works just fine. We like it a lot. You forget after a couple of minutes that's even VHS. And the same way, I think that this BittBoy is probably going to look pretty good on the TV too. I'm going to try it with my daughter Piper. I think we're going to play some Powerpuff Girls Game Boy Color games, and we're going to do it on the TV. We're going to try to find a way to set it up so it looks nice. I can't capture it while I'm also recording it, but we'll find a way to make it look good. We'll see what it looks like. So, okay, a couple more things real quick, then we're almost done with this right here, is that the quick startup, quick shutdown, I like that a lot. I can turn it on. It takes probably about 5 seconds for that logo screen to show, and then after that, you're right into playing the game, load your save state, maybe have to go back, start the game again, load it again, but either way, even then, it'd be like maybe 30 seconds total, and you're playing your game right where you left off. Especially for like RPGs, where you're like, I want to find out what happens with so-and-so after such and such happens. You can jump right into it and start playing that, and I like that a lot about it. I really appreciated that about it. cost effective. Man, that's a really good part about it. I forgot about that. Is that I got this system here for $48.99 online, and it's supposed to come with an 8-bit card. And I'm going to tell you right now, it did not come with an 8-bit card. I just got the system, and that's fine. Luckily, I scrounged and found a 4 gigabyte. I said 4-bit, 8-bit, I think. 8 gigabit, but 8 gigabyte. Dang. An 8 gigabyte card. But anyway, so I found a 4 gigabyte card just laying around finally, and I was like, okay, and I formatted it, and I got games on it. That's how I'm playing games right now. But I was kind of bummed that it didn't come with it. But if you want to just not even risk it, and like I really prefer now that I wouldn't have paid the extra $10 for the card. But $39.99 right now, as this video is being recorded, you can go get this, and that's cheap enough that you can throw money at it and get it and just play around with it. Even if you drop it, the screen breaks, you lose it, somebody steals it, because it's so cool that you can still you can still justify spending $40 on something like that. That's like going to the movies these days and getting popcorn. Like, that's easy. You can do that and be able to play Nintendo games and Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games in your pocket anytime you want to. Worth it. Really, really good part of it. I like that a lot. The final thing I got right here is that you can play the BittBoy while you're charging it. And for me, that's an important thing. I've had systems before and devices before where if it was plugged in, it went into like a charging mode and you couldn't do anything with it. It would shut down, right? And the BittBoy's not like that. You plug it in, like say you're playing your game for 2 hours or 3 hours, 5 hours. I don't know. I haven't pushed it that far all at once just yet, but apparently it does, of course, die at some point. It uses the same battery as a Game Boy Advance. You can see it right there. You can see it in the, there you go. There's that foily kind of battery. It's the same battery as the Game Boy Advance. And I think it was Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Game Boy Advance, because that's the rechargeable. Yeah, okay, anyway. That you can plug it in, though. You're playing that for a few hours. It starts to run out. You're about like, oh, I don't want to stop playing. I'm enjoying it. You can plug it right in and keep on playing it while it's charging. I'm sure it's going to take a lot longer to charge if it's plugged in while you're playing it and all that. But still, it's cool that it has that feature. It means a lot to me, too. So let's move on. We've got nothing else here. I got a couple of quick tips. The R button is really cool. Anytime you're playing a game, this middle button right here, see that little dot? You press that, and you go right to your menu to save a state or whatever, and whatever game you're playing, it immediately stops the action and pauses it. When my daughter wanted just a few more puffs, it's the Simply Cheetos puffs. She loves those things. My youngest daughter, actually my oldest daughter, all of us, we like those things. And she'll want another one, and I was like, what is it? And I pressed that R button. I'm like, oh, here you go, honey. And we hang out and have a little chit chat. Okay, go back to my game, and I press that R button again, and I'm back. Actually, I don't press R, you hold B. Then you get right back to the game. I like that aspect of it a lot. You go out of it, you go right back into it. If you don't have a micro SD card, I'd recommend you get one beforehand. Otherwise, if you don't have a little micro SD card, if you just buy it by itself and you don't have a micro SD card, it is completely useless. You can't do anything with it. You can't play any games, can't do anything with it. So you gotta make sure you do that. And let's say that's it. Let's say it's very impressive. I've taken this around a couple of different places now, and people are always impressed. Even just playing like Super Mario Brothers 3 or, some Contra or something like that, Super Mario's 1, all that, Super Mario Brothers 1, that people dig it. They see it and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you playing? That's not a cell phone. That's not a PlayStation Portable. That's not a Nintendo DS or whatever. Like, what is that? It's BittBoy. That's how cool it is. It has kind of its own little guerrilla marketing voice, kind of campaign to it that I like that a lot about it too. It has a movement behind it, and I like that a lot. Anyway, guys, we're gonna leave it right there. It's been long enough. This is gonna be like probably a half-hour episode. Hope you guys don't mind. It's my big tribute to BittBoy, because I do like it a lot. I do have my qualms, as you heard, but even those qualms are things I can work around. That's why I still have it. That's why I still love it. That's why I'm still playing it today. And I'm going to be playing it tomorrow. I'm going to do a follow-up on this probably in a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I'm going to do a follow-up on this, and if I have anything else that develops, and also I'm going to cover how playing it on the TV. I just looked at my TV. You guys don't know that. But I'm going to see how it looks on my TV and everything. We're going to cover that. But in the meantime, you guys, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday. I think it's going to be a Wednesday at this point. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day it is. And I'm happy you're here with me. And I'll see you guys again very soon. It's going to be Thursday. Gameplay Thursday. I'm going to see you guys then. And as always, OMJamers! What did I say? What was it? How's it go? Oh, yeah. Make somebody smile today, guys! Yeah! I don't know. It gets weirder every time, and I like that about it.